Hey everyone, I am Coach Linda, and this is 100 Days of Purpose. And I am coming to you with today's topic is purpose is the way. Um, Many times we want life to be acceptable to us. We want life to kind of fall in place. We want life to happen, and we don't really want to have any bumps or any upsets or anything that causes friction or pain. And we do that, or we desire that, because that's what we're told. We're told that life is supposed to be easy, that life is supposed to be manageable. And when it's not manageable, then we think that we are a failure, or we think that we're less than, or um, we did something wrong. And because we made a bad choice or a bad decision, or we allowed the wrong people in our lives, or whatever it is that is going on at the time, we feel that that's the reason why our life isn't going the way we had planned it, hoped it would, and all of that. Um, but I've learned in the time that I've been alive that stuff happens, right? And you make the best choice with the information that you have at the time that you're making the choice. And sometimes we are so dead set on doing it one way that we don't look for other opportunities. We don't look for other ways. And we don't even go to people that we like, know, and trust and ask them for help. And if you're going to be strategic in your life, if you're going to be intentional in your life, you have to be willing to ask for the help that is needed. Um, you have to be willing to share parts of you with other people and believe that they not everyone has bad intent towards you. Not everyone has bad intentions. Not everyone is out to get you. There are some people that are there to help you, and if they cause friction in your life, you have to remember, if iron is sharpening iron, there's going to be friction. And so being strategic and intentional on who you ask for help, on who you go to, who you share your time and energy with, who you share your thoughts with, who you allow to influence your life, you will find that purpose is the way to go. Purpose is the underline of those choices. Purpose is the reason you make the decisions that you make. And if you don't know what your purpose is, then it's kind of hard to even comprehend what I'm trying to say, because you then still go down the road of, this is the information I have at hand, and it doesn't really make sense, but I'm going to still make this choice based on this information. Or this person I trust said this, and so I'm just going to do it because they said so, right? There's no intention, there's no strategy to it, there's nothing on purpose about it. It's just you're going with the flow. You're shooting from your hip, if you will. And so you've got to be intentional about those that you allow to mentor you, those you allow to coach you, those you allow to advise you, those you allow to, even even if they're not in the mentorship, if they're not an advisor, when you're sharing with your friends, there are some friends that I know that I can't tell stuff to, right? They won't understand that they're it's not even level thing. It's just they're not there. They're not thinking that way. They're not entertaining those kinds of thoughts, and so they don't understand. If my friend is a 9 to 5 worker and I'm a serial entrepreneur, or someone who has a small business, they're not going to understand why I put in the hours that I put in, because they work from 9 to 5 and they get paid and they're able to pay their bills. And so it doesn't take all of that for them, right? But as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, it may take me a 12-hour, a 16-hour day, a 20-hour day to get things done. And I may have to work 7 days a week. I may have to be on my grind all the time. And people don't understand that when they are not even thinking along those lines. And so I wouldn't go to a 9 to 5er and say, hey, help me out with this business strategy, or help me out with this or that, because I understand that they're not thinking like that. They may be a CEO. They may be someone that has, very good business knowledge and sense. But again, if they are working for someone else, there's a different mindset that's in place. And that doesn't make them good or bad. That just means that when I am dealing with my entrepreneurship and I'm dealing with my business, I may not be able to talk to that individual. Now, I may be able to talk to them about maybe techniques or strategies for business, because they would have that knowledge, but I can't talk to them about the downsides and the upsides of owning my own business. I can't talk to them about the long hours. I can't talk to them because they may not understand that, they may not see that, they may not even feel that that's possible, and they will tell me, well, if you work for someone else, you wouldn't have all of those troubles. You wouldn't have to deal with that. And so when we are talking about purpose, even with the people we allow to advise us, even with the people we allow to speak into our existence and speak into our lives, or people we go to help with, we have to be strategic about that also, because purpose is the way. Purpose is the way. Purpose is the way. It's not, it defines what you do, when you do, how you do. Does that make sense? It defines what you do, when you do, how you do. And so if that is the case, and you're being strategic and intentional about what it is you're trying to accomplish, then you understand that I can't go to every Tom, Dick, and Harry and tell them my ideas and seek their counsel, because they may not be able to counsel me. Now, if they are good with marriage, I go to them for my marriage. If they're good with children, I go with them for the rearing of my children. If they're good with business, I go to them about business strategies. If they are an entrepreneur like I am, then I go to them about the pains and the woes and how did you get over, the long hours, and then I'm going to talk to them about that. So again, I may not talk to the entrepreneur about parenting. I may not talk to the person I talk to about parenting, about my marriage. I may not talk to the person I talk to about marriage, about business techniques and strategies, because again, you're keeping people in their rightful lane. You're keeping them in the places where they excel and they can shine, because purpose is the way, and purpose will define what you do, when you do, and how you do it. I hope that makes sense. I hope that when you are asking yourself, why do I exist? When you're asking yourself, what is my purpose? When you're asking yourself, who am I? And you're getting down to the why of it all. And you're getting down to the strategy of it all. And you're being intentional about the actions you are taking, the words, even the words that come out of your mouth, concerning you or concerning someone else, because we have to understand words have power. And so we can say something about someone else and limit our own self, because we're putting out that negativity into the atmosphere and we're creating something. And most times when we set a trap for someone else, we get trapped in it, right? And so, and the same with your enemies, if they set a trap for you, they get trapped in it. And so we've got to watch what we say. We have to be intentional about what we say. We have to be strategic about what we do. We have to understand purpose is the way. It is always the way. It is everything. It's how you maneuver this thing called life. And if you can get that, if you can understand that, if you can embrace that, then you're well on your way. You're well on your way. But you got to understand, and you got to stop telling yourself you can't do it. You got to stop saying you don't know. You got to find the answers that you need, find the solutions that you need. Somebody out there has the solution for your life and has the solution for your situation and your circumstances. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So you ask yourself, what is my pain? You ask yourself, what is the resolution? You ask yourself, why am I stuck? You ask yourself, what is the process? You ask yourself, what is my first step? And understand that it starts with a simple word, and that's consistency. One step after another. Being consistent, being willing to walk through the doors when the doors are open, being willing to crawl in the window when the window is open, being willing to say, you know what, that's not my lane. I got to stick to my lane. Being willing to say no, being willing to say yes. Purpose is the way. It defines you. It makes you who you are. It helps you to evolve into that greater individual, into that individual that's contributing to the world and not just taking from the world. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. I want you to remember, only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. And like, I think it was Adidas, Adidas says, impossible is nothing. It's nothing only when you can believe that you're operating in your purpose, that you're operating in the way that you should be operating. And you allow yourself to dream big. You allow yourself to be exactly who God created you to be and to do exactly what you were put on earth to do. And guess what? When you can see the invisible and achieve the impossible, that's your way of being exactly who you were designed to be. And the world will definitely adjust.